Hey everybody, and welcome back to Mondays with Mark. It's Monday, and I'm Mark. Thank you so much for joining me this week. Last week was a holiday Monday, so we kept it short and sweet, and I really hope you guys took advantage of some of the tips that I gave you in a couple videos ago, and got out there and really enjoyed your long weekend, the last long weekend of the summer. And now the kiddies are back in school, and everything's kind of starting to calm down again. So we're getting back to our regularly scheduled program. So, this week, we're going to be touching on, of course, what everybody's been talking about, which is the Bank of Canada's announcement to not change the interest rates last week, which is a pretty big deal. And today, we're going to kind of discuss why and the impact that may have on the real estate market. So, the interest rates are essentially the heartbeat of our economy, right? They influence so many different things: borrowing costs, how much people spend and invest, all across the board. And as of last week, the Bank of Canada has decided to keep the interest rates unchanged, which is significant. But why is it significant? So, first of all, the interest rates are used by the central banks or the Bank of Canada as a tool to manage the economic stability. I know it sounds a little bit wordy, and I'm no economic expert by any means, but essentially what it means is the lower the rates are, the more encouraged people are to borrow and spend. While the higher rates are used primarily to curb inflation, which I'm sure is a story we've all heard several times over the past year or 2 years. So when the banks decide to keep the rates unchanged, it really sends a strong message. But there's also a twist. That message can and usually does heat up the market. Now, you're asking, why is that? Well, anytime there is some stability in the market, especially over the last 2 years, we tend to see people, more specifically buyers, flood to the market because they're more comfortable. They're more encouraged that the rates are going to stay the same, and they typically just get a little bit more comfortable, and that prompts them to go out and get out into the market. Also, people that have been waiting to see what this announcement was going to be, whether they were going to go up, down, or stay the same, now are going to be encouraged to come off the sidelines to get back into the market. So, what does this mean if you're a buyer right now? It means that you could potentially, in a couple of weeks, see yourself in a little bit more of a competitive market where you're going to be competing against other offers to get your home. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing. We've been in multiple situation market for quite some time now, so it's pretty much business as usual at this point, at least for us agents. And that is again why it's so paramount that you attach yourself to an agent that you know and trust, because they're going to be able to guide you, give you the advice, and give you some strategies, tips, and tricks on how to get your offers accepted over other people's offers. And it doesn't always just boil down to the financial. Yes, offering the most amount of money is typically on paper a great thing, but there are other avenues that we can explore as agents by working with the listing agent who's obviously in direct contact with the sellers to find out, other than the money, what it is that they are looking for. It could be a very attractive closing date. It could be a little bit of a heftier deposit. It could be not having the condition to sell a home. These are just to name a few. There are lots of things that we can do to make our offers more attractive, other than just raising the price. So while the market is going to get a little bit more competitive, especially when this announcement comes in the fall, which typically tends to be one of the busiest times in the real estate market, we are expecting to see a boom, a slight boom in the market, especially from the buyer side. So, if you're a buyer and you are right now actively looking and thinking seriously about purchasing a property, I would encourage you to reach out to your agent or an agent and really get that process started, because you may still be able to get a great deal on a property right now before the rest of the market catches up to what's happened and we start to see that surge in the buyers. On the flip side, if you're thinking about selling your home, well, all those buyers coming to the market is, again, it's a very attractive time to sell your home because there's going to be more competition for your home, which in turn should lead to some multiple offers, as I just mentioned, and hopefully generate a little bit more money than you would have, 3, 4, 5 months ago with this recent announcement. So a little bit of food for thought for both sides if you're a buyer or if you're a seller. And I'm always happy to talk more in depth with anybody about these situations. And that's if that's something that you're thinking about, or you would like to have a discussion with me about that, then I'm more than happy to meet with you. And my information, again, is never hard to find. It's attached to my YouTube channel. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram. And of course, you can subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell on YouTube so that way you never miss a Mondays with Mark. And then you can get in touch with me that way. And yeah, so what are your guys' thoughts on this unchanging interest rate? I'm always curious to know what the general public is thinking and feeling. So please leave your comments below, and I always read them, and we'll be more than happy to engage in a dialogue with you guys about this and see exactly how we can help or any advice that we can give to you that can help you realize your real estate dreams. So that's what I got for this week, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next Mondays with Mark.